Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be testing the theory on whether more expensive brushes are better to do your high with, or does it really matter? Does it matter how much you spend on your brushes? And with that, I'm going to be using the Beauty Bay brush set to test this. So it came in a packaging, and this is what the packaging looks like. And the brush purse itself, this is what it looks like. Alright, and it's a pack of 12. So these are the brushes in action. I've already used one of it. I used the brow one for my brow tutorial, so if you've not seen that video, go and check it out. This is what I used, and these are the other 11 brushes that I haven't featured yet. So we are going to put this into test, and we're going to see if does it really matter. Does it really matter how much you spend on your brushes? Do you have to go all out and spend a lot of money for brushes, you know, for your eyeshadow to perform well on your eyes? Okay, having said that, I'm going to be trying these brushes out with my eyeshadow palette, and this is the Brew palette, and it's from September Rose. Okay, this is what the inside of the palette looks like. So it's really like an autumn eyeshadow palette, and I think it will be perfect for today's look. So nothing too colorful. I'm just going to do some sort of neutral look. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyes, and I'm going to prime with the MAC paint pot. So it's really trying to pick which one of the brushes will be more effective to prime the eyes with, and I think I am going to go for this. And the reason is the fact that it's widespread and it's kind of like steady, so it's packed. It's packed, so you really want something packed for your eyes. So I'm gonna just dip this into my primer and then just prime my eyes with that. So my eyes are nicely primed, and as you can see, the brush did work. So it is the one called Full Color. That's the one I used. So the brushes have names. I forgot to mention that earlier. Each one of them have different names. All right, so that's it. So the next thing now is to go into the eyeshadow application itself, and I am going to be using, I'm just going to put aside some of the brushes. Really, I like to, like, as you know, if you've been watching my videos, you know I like to use fluffy and dense brush at the same time. Okay, so I am picking about 6 of them to use. So this will be for my crease, these two really will be for my crease, and this will be for precise application. If I want like an heavy application or heavy application of color, that's what I will use. And this will be probably for my under my eyelid, my lower lid. And this is a pencil brush, so this will be very, very precise. And again, this will be like a blending brush for my under eye, and this will probably be what I will use to apply my shimmer shadow. Okay, so let's get right into it. So I've got my brushes down, and I'm going to start with the fluffy ones. So for today, I think I'm going to be dipping into the brown look, so it will be brown and orange. Those two shadows, that one over there, and possibly that one to darken my outer corner. And then I'll be using possibly the golden, one of those golden shades to kind of like lay down on top of whatever matte I lay on my eyes. So we'll have to see. Okay, using the HG crease brush, I'm gonna then apply the orange shade into my crease. I'm putting it on my crease as well as a little bit on my eyeballs, really bringing it down, but not bringing it down too much on my eyes. Just I want it prominent on my crease, so just gently laying it down. And then I'm going to go into the darker orange shade and then bring that on the outer edge. So it's got a slight difference. It's not very different, but it's still darker than the first one I laid on my crease. Okay, so bringing down into my outer corner for the V effect I usually like. Alright, going into using the round the blend brush, I'm going to use that original orange shade that I put on my crease, and I'm going to bring that back, and I want that higher up, so I'm taking that towards my eye, basically towards my brows, so that whatever color I lay on my lid, you're still going to see this orange on it. Now using the High Spy one, I'm now going to go into the darker shade, and I'm going to lay that down on the outer corner of my eye. Okay, now swapping into the brush called A Shorty, I'm going again into the darker shade that I use, but because it's more precise, I'm going to just kind of use it to lay down the color all over again. This eyeshadow palette has got a lot of fallout, so be very, very careful. So I'm using it in a precise manner and pressing down on my lid to lay down that color, because I want a full impact of that color on my lid. And that's the reason why I'm swapping the brush. Otherwise I would have stuck to the brush. So on my lid I want a nice rich impact. So I'm now swapping again into one of the brushes I use for my crease, and I'm going back into the orange just to blend the orange to the red. Now using the same brush, I'm picking up that darker shade again. I'm gonna bring the red back. Alright, now going into the pencil brush called Sketch Out. I'm now going to use a lighter orange shade, the lighter orange shade I use on my crease, and I'm going to use that in my inner, towards my inner tear duct. So I'm literally just laying it down. That's it, that's the high done. So the next thing is to now use a shimmer shade in my inner corner. Then I'm going to consider whether I want to put a shimmer shade on my lid as well. I'm not too sure, but I definitely want to put in my inner shade. Now let's go into the shimmer shade, and for the shimmer shade, as mentioned earlier, I'm going to use this brush, and it's called a multitasking master, and that's what it looks like. Yeah, so I'm going to pick up the golden one for my inner tear duct. So it's picked it up quite well, but I'm going to spray my brush to avoid any fallout. Okay, I've decided I want a bit of a shimmer on my lid as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray my finger, and I'm going to then dip into that golden color, and I'm just going to press down on my lid. I don't know if it's going to ruin it, but it's just going to give it like a sprinkle of the gold on it. So it's not really kind of like changing the color, it's just spreading the golden shade on my lid to give it like a sort of glittery disco effect, if you like. I like that. What I'm then finally going to do, I want to darken my outer edge. I don't like how it is. I'm just going to darken it, and I'm going to use this shade, and I'm again using the I Spy brush. I'm just going to literally just put it on my outer edge to darken it up. I always like a bit of difference, a bit of variation in color when it comes to my eyeshadow. Yeah, nicely done. Yeah, I think I'm satisfied with this. So I'm going to quickly just replicate the same on my other eye, and I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. Okay guys, I'm back. Both of my eyes are now done. I've also done my eyeliner and my mascara. My take on these brushes is that they are good value for money. The retail price of the brushes is £20 on Beauty Bay, and especially when you get them on sales like I did, it's even better value. They have performed the function that they were supposed to perform. But don't take the description too much to heart. Just go with what's comfortable for you. The fact that they said this is pointed brush or whatever does not really mean anything, because our eye shapes are different. So the brushes that you will use for a different part of your eyes are going to be different. So just do what's comfortable for you, as long as you use them well. And I mean, that's all that matters at the end of the day. So for me, I would recommend these brushes. The palette, however, is another thing. In future, when I want to use the palette, I think I'm going to use it with a wet base. And the reason is because it's very powdery. As you can see, there's a lot of fallout on the palette, so I would use a pillowy base next time instead of the MAC Paint Ball. But as far as the brushes are concerned, I definitely recommend this for the value that you pay for it. I think they are good value for money. It just shows that you don't really have to spend too much money to get a good set of brushes. I mean, some brushes, just one brush cost $350. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think you need to go all the way out, especially if you're just starting out and you're trying to get used to eyeshadow application. Then you don't need to spend too much money. Just stick with something that is, you know, very low-key like this. I mean, the full set being £20, I think that's good enough, until you then feel, you know, more comfortable to venture out into like the 30s or the 40s for a brush set. Okay, that's what I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and you've seen how the brushes work. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content. Okay, until next time, see you.